Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. That was superb. Thank you. I didn't put none of my part on this first one. So everyone put your hands in the air. Take a nice deep breath and say Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Krishna Krishna! Hare Hare! Hare Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Hare Rama! Rama Rama! Rama Rama! Hare Hare! Hare Hare!
Hare Krishna to one and all. On behalf of the Mercy Namahatta and the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, founded by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, a very warm welcome to one and all. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Hare Krishna.
So I see we do have some new faces with us. I believe Damodar Prabhu is here for the first time. Sachin Prabhu, you from Westville, and there's a few other devotees that are here, some coming from international waters as well. So let's give them a huge round of applause. very warm welcome to you all, and we look forward to seeing you all at our future Namahatta programs as well. So it is my honor and privilege in introducing our speaker for this evening, and actually, surprise, surprise, we have two speakers this evening. So we wanted to give you all a surprise. So we have this evening His Grace Sublal Prabhu and His Grace Bhima Prabhu that will be joining us. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Sublal Prabhu and Bhima Prabhu are both disciples of His Holiness Partha Das Goswami Maharaj, and they both joined ISKCON in the late 1980s. Bhima Prabhu currently lives and serves in Pretoria, and Sublal Prabhu lives in Australia. Sublal Prabhu was His Holiness Partha Das Goswami Maharaj's first personal servant. They both have served at the 10 campaigns doing different services and have done a lot of preaching on the African continent. During their service, they have done many different types of services that they would like to enlighten you on for this evening's class. So without further ado, I hand you over to our two very, very eloquent speakers. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna!
Can we borrow a chair? Let's sit here.
Get another.
That's me. It's
And
fine.
yours is the other one.
Yeah. I got a chair. He's my senior brother, so. We're not anything, not so important. As Mataji said, we are servants of Maharaj, so I should be sitting on the floor. Thank you, everyone. It's been a build-up coming here. I've been hearing so many beautiful stories about the devotees here. Hare Krishna, Jai Guru. And Ganga Mata, she's been praising you and saying how beautiful the devotees are here and so receptive of the holy name. So we had to come here. And thank you, Mataji, for making all the arrangements for us to come. So, as I said, nothing so special from me. I'm not an elegant speaker at all. So, if you're expecting some fancy slokas and things, you'll have to listen to him. He's the learned one. So, I started my journey at the age of 10, and I became a vegetarian. Sadly, we used to kill our own animals, kill our own chicken, and my dad used to do that, and that really hurt me. He called me wanting to help him, and I cried, I started crying. I couldn't sleep the whole night. I just thought of this chicken being killed, and I never ate it. I couldn't eat. I never ate meat again. So it's coming for the first time. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Nice Hare Krishna for them. Hare Krishna, welcome.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So I'll tell you my journey. So you're coming here for the first time, or coming into Krishna consciousness. And I stopped eating meat straight after that. And I think everyone else in my family stopped eating meat after that. And I met some devotees. I liked music, so I like kirtan, as you can see. I like kirtan and chanting, I like dancing. And I just like a lot of English music, so I liked dancing in English music. And at the age of 11, I went to the open my own disco. How many of you guys here? I went to the open my own disco, that was it. I had a room like this size. My dad built it, was vacant, it was a double garage, and I said, this is gonna be my disco room. And we're gonna have discos here every night, every weekend. Gonna make people dance, and yeah, so that's where it started, and dancing, getting people to dance, and want people to dance, chant, and I'll just dance at that stage. And so I went out, I needed some money to buy my disco equipment. So the first job I landed was a paper boy. So I used to carry these heavy bags of paper through Lotus Park. Anyone knows Lotus Park? Yeah, so that's where I was, that's where I lived, in Lotus Park, that's where I grew up. And I used to deliver paper in Lotus Park. And by the chants of Krishna, that I met some devotees. And when I went to give the paper to her, she handed me a rolled up piece of paper, tissue paper, with a kachori. And I said, just one step back from that, my mom went to visit the opening of the temple, so it was 1986, I think, 95, 86, and she bought neck beads and some chanting beads and some other paraphernalia. So I put out the neck beads. She said, oh, the devotee said you can't use these beads if you eat meat, so you can't use these beads. She said, oh, my son's vegetarian, I'll give it to him. So I'm wearing neck beads, I'm vegetarian, I know nothing about Krishna. Well, all Hindus know about Krishna, but I knew about all the other demigods as well. Totally confused us. Anyway, she asked me, do you go to the temple? And I said, yeah, I do. And she was surprised. She said, I haven't seen you there. I said, I go every Good Friday at the Sublal temple. We do our yearly prayer. And she laughed. She burst out laughing. She thought it was the funniest thing ever. She said, but you have neck beads. You must be going to the Hare Krishna temple. I said, no, my mom went to the temple and she bought these beads for me. And she said, oh, come in the evening and speak to Prabhu and he will give you some information about the beads you're wearing, and you're already vegetarian, so that makes it easy. She said, that's the hardest thing. So come and chat to him. So I went and I had a chat to him and he gave me my chanting. So it was like my initiation. He says, here's your beads, you have to chant a minimum of 4 rounds. I said, all right. I did that for maybe a week, 4 rounds, and then after a week I was doing 16 rounds. And I was chanting, and I think the first few mantras I did, I was sat in my bed, cross-legged, because he didn't really explain anything. Cross-eyed, and I knew the yogis look at the tip of their nose and they chanted. And I did my 4 rounds like that, and I said, oh, I love this, I still love it. And I carried on doing it. And then she said, oh, you should come to the 10 campaigns. We're having a 10 campaign, you should come. I said, all right, when is it? It's on the weekend, you should come. I said, all right, let's go. And got home, and it was Friday. Everyone knows Friday is a day when the dad cracks open his alcohol, cooks his meat, and he says, oh, I'm not going to any prayer thing, I ate meat and I can't go. All right, maybe we'll go the next day. We eventually never went. So I went down and I met Maharaj and the devotees on the Sunday, right? It was usually on the Sunday, they have their break, they have their time during the day. So Maharaj is in a caravan and he was doing his puja. And when he was doing his puja, he heard me talking to a devotee. This devotee was extremely tall. If you can't tell, he was Yashwati Nandana. Extremely beautiful, elegant, in saffron cloth. He looked like Lord Chaitanya to me. And he welcomed me and he said, come. He started talking to me. He said, have you been coming to the programs? I said, no, I haven't. I've never been to the program. He said, you should come. I said, yeah, I want to come. And then Maharaj heard me talking to Yashua. And then Maharaj sticks his head out of the car and he goes, Haribo, come here. So I went. And he handed me a handful of prasadam. It was chopped fruit. He was doing his Govardhan Puja in the caravan. And he handed the chopped fruit with some shrikon and a bunch of tulsi, a lot of tulsi. And he says, you have to eat all of this. He put it in my hand. You have to eat all of this in one go. It was big, huge for me, a little boy. And I put it all in my mouth and I licked my hand. He goes, yeah, don't drop anything on the floor. It's all Mahaprashadam. Don't drop it on the floor. And that instruction stuck with me my whole life. I'll pick up rice from the ground and I'll eat it. I'll touch it to my hand and I'll eat it. Prasadam is something so sacred. Maharaj taught me that the first instruction. Don't drop prasadam on the floor. All prasadam that's offered to Krishna is not different from Krishna. So we can't drop it, we can't throw it away. We can't throw it away. If I can't eat it or someone can't eat it, we give it away to the neighbors or we give it away to people. Just don't throw prasadam. Anyway, Maharaj didn't tell me anything else. He just gave me that and went back to doing his puja. And I went off home again. And again, I tried with my parents, can we go to this 10 campaign? And they said no. And I was finished. I was devastated. Couldn't go because it was quite a distance for a young boy to walk. And we used to walk anyway. And so I never went. And I said, oh, I have to see them. I was longing for them. I was like, I need to see them. When I went to school, so I went to school, it's just down the road from the tent. And after school, I rushed over to go and see them. And the tent was gone. You know how sad that was? The tent was gone. So after the last program on Sunday, they packed everything up. And I saw the tent was there, the stage was there, so I expected them to be there. And I sat there and I cried, absolutely cried Namahatta. They were gone. Maharaj is gone. And it was only a few moments just meeting them, but I was so attached to them. And I really wanted to see them. I wanted to know where these devotees come from, you know. And so I went back to this devotee, Katyani. Her name was Kamini at the time. An excellent cook. I don't know if anyone knows her. Katyani, she's the shop. Really beautiful devotees, absolutely. They took me under their wing and they nurtured me, taught me everything from offering prasadam and respecting prasadam, making sweets, and I used to stay on these huge pots for her. And then she says, oh, we didn't go to the temple. So, you know, campaigns went over winter. And then the next festival was Janmashtami, Radhastami. I never made any of that. I made it to Prabhupada's disappearance day. And that's in November, I think. Around November, December. Prabhupada's disappearance day. And I met Induduma Swami. He was there in the temple room. This was mind-blowing. He was sitting there, and Prabhupada was just lit up with candles, and all the lights were off in the temple room. And Maharaj was singing so sweetly, Samsara Dava to his Purusha Master. And that absolutely melted my heart. And I said, this is where I have to be. This is my home. This is where I belong. And then after that, I met Yasho. He says, you want to come and help me? I have to go and clean Partha Prabhu at the time. My Guru Maharaj was called Partha Prabhu. He says, you can come and clean Partha Prabhu's room with me. I said, sure, let's go. And I went and I cleaned his room. And I helped him clean the floor, so we mopped the floor. He says, fill the bucket up halfway, and three drops of eucalyptus oil. So for me, that was like a dosage. I just measured every time 3 drops. It was like, I had to do that, half a bucket, 3 drops. That was his measurements. And I took that to heart. I thought that was the measurement. That I couldn't go more than that. It'd be too strong. Too less would be too less, you know. So I stuck with that. And I cleaned Maharaj's room, and made sure it was all nice and clean, every corner. And I saw Govardhan for the first time. Whoa, what's this? And he told me, don't touch these. Go around the DVs. Don't touch the table. So I did that. Don't go under the table. Just go around. So I did that. And then he says, got some clothes to wash. So let's go wash some clothes. So we went and washed Maharaj's clothes. So here, 13 years old, and 12 at the time, I was washing Maharaj's clothes, cleaning his room, and thinking, this is what I want to do. This is what I really want to do. And it was December, and we all went to stay at the temple. My sisters and some other devotees, we went to stay at the temple. And we were preparing for the Rath Yatra. It was the first Rath Yatra coming back after a long time. And Induduma Swami was there. He was the temple president at the time. And we were helping Mother Archabingwa to paint. We were painting the swans on the wheels and peacock feathers. And so we were doing it just freehand. She drew it and we were coloring it. So we were doing coloring in. She telling us the exact color. She was so sweet lady that was teaching us how to paint. We knew nothing of anything. And I can't remember the Rath Yatra, whether we actually went. I'm not sure. But we did all that stuff. I'm not really sure if we went. Anyway, during the school holidays, so there was December, then school holiday, we had to Rath Yatra during December time. And then during school holidays in July, a local devotee was the Namahatta leader, Advaita Acharya Prabhu. He said, Maharaj has a vehicle that he wants me to pick up in Johannesburg. You want to come with me? We're going for a drive. I said, wow, yeah, wow. So I went to my mother and said, Prabhu wants me to come with him. And she goes, yeah, sure, go. I went to the temple, and somebody dropped us off at the temple. And then we got into Maharaj's car. That was like, wow. Sitting in the same car with Maharaj. So Advaita Prabhu drove, and Maharaj sat in the passenger side, and I sat behind Maharaj. And Maharaj was fragrant. He smelled like lotus flowers. He was just all these scented oils from Govardhan. Every morning he massages Govardhan. So he smelled heavenly. And I think he also rubbed them on his head. So all I watched, the whole road, maybe 6 hours or more, was Maharaj's shaved head. And I said, wow, his little Sika and his purely shaved head was mesmerizing. I was just meditating on his bald head the whole way, chanting Maharaj and thinking that, this is my guru, this is my teacher. And I never heard Maharaj, never hear him sing, never hear him talk, nothing. But in my heart, I just wanted to serve him. The first service I did was clean his room. And it was Mulderstrup. Anyone been to Mulderstrup temple? It was a really old, really some old devotees there. And Hare Krishna. And so I went there for the first time and we stayed in a couple of rooms near where Maharaj stayed, myself and Advaita Prabhu. And so I told Advaita Prabhu, I want to ask Maharaj if I can be his servant. He thought I was crazy. You're 13 years. And he's not a guru yet. And I said, he's my guru. I know he's my guru. So Maharaj wasn't an initiating guru at all. So I went to him and he said, you have to go. I said, please come with me. He said, no, this is something you have to do on your own. And if you knew me then, I never said a word. I was a scared little brat. I was dyslexic, so I hated public speaking. I couldn't speak, I couldn't read in public. It was really hard for me to communicate in public. So I built up the courage to knock on the door. I knocked on the door and I was sweating, my heart was... It was like really pounding, I could hear it in my ear. Knocked at the door, and Maharaj said, come in. And I went in, and guess what? Raghuveer Prabhu, Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj was also in the room. I didn't know there were two of them in there. It was a double impact. I almost passed out. I was sweating, my ears were hot. And I said, Maharaj, I want to be your servant. He goes, what? Hare Krishna. He goes, okay, what are you going to do? I said, I can clean your room. I cleaned it at the temple. He goes, oh, did you? And I said, I know how to do it. Prabhu showed me about the bucket and the 3 drops. I know it. I know the recipe, how to clean your room. And then I said, I can wash your clothes as well. He goes, oh, okay. He says, all right, fine, that's good. And I took his clothes and he says, you can come back later when we leave the room. We're going to go out and chant and you can come in and clean the room. And then Raghuveer Prabhu goes, that's Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, he goes, and who's going to clean my clothes? So, I can do both of your clothes. So I ended up washing both of their clothes. And I ended up going, I seen devotees at the temple going and getting Mahaprasadam for the sannyasis. So I did the same thing. I said, my guru needs Mahaprasadam and I need the tray. And they gave me the whole tray. And if you know those days, it was full, the plates were full of kachoris. And anyway, yeah, so, one important thing that I had kachoris there. And on our route to Johannesburg, we stopped at this windy road, I can't remember, maybe Van Riemen's Pass or something like that. We stopped at this really scenic spot. Mara said this is one of his favorite spots he likes to stop. So we stopped there, and he opened this box of packets of prasadam. So there's all Mahaprasadam of Shri Shivadaradhana. And he was feeding us. He fed me kachori with his hand. He broke the kachoris and he shared it. He saw me just gobble this thing up. I loved kachoris. And he gave me another one. He gave me another one. So kachoris is a thing for me. And so I gave them, I served both of them prasadam. And it was middle of winter, so it was freezing cold. And then the hot water systems gave up at the temple. It was our last few weeks there, so they were doing renos and things to sell it. So we went to a neighboring farm, and the devotee, not devotee, he's a farmer. He says, we have a basement, you guys can use the shower there. So we used the shower. And on my way back, I can see Maharaj walking. He just took a cold shower. It was like -6 degrees. And he just took a cold shower. And he's walking blissfully. And I said, Maharaj, did you take a cold shower? There's warm showers there. He says, that's all right. I like cold showers. It's healthy for me. And somebody clicked a photo when I was asking that. Maybe it was a beta or myself. I'm not sure who took the photo. Excuse me. I still got that photo. Maharaj holding his gamsha, which he washed himself. And I started washing his clothes after that. And I started serving him. I was like a part-time student at school and a full-time devotee. So I joined the temple when I was 13. And Indradyumna Swami's servant was Krishna Casey. Krishna. Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. He says, Maharaj wants to see you. Oh no, what did I do? I hate getting called to the principal's office. I was always in trouble. I went to see the temple president. He goes, my name is Suren. He says, Suren, you have to go back home. I think it was a week, everyone's already gone back to school, and I was there. There's some huge court cases going on in America where they were saying we were kidnapping, and I was 13, so I was underage. He said, you have to go back home. He says, you're actually going home just to finish your exam. This is your home, so come back as soon as you finish your exam. So that's what I did. I wrote my exam. I didn't wait for results or anything. And I phoned the devotees. It was Brihadmadanga Prabhu and Shama Sindhu Prabhu. They came and picked me up. I wrote my exam that same day. They picked me up, packed whatever I could pack, and they took me to the temple, and I joined the temple full time. That same day I shaved up. And then Maharaj saw me and goes, whoa, you got a nice head. He rubbed my head, he massaged my head. He said, some people have strange shapes, but you got a nice shaped head. It was so funny. And then I phoned Sridham and I, we were staying at the temple during the school holidays. I met Sridham, Anesh, Avesh. So I called Avesh and said, you know what, you should come join this place, it's cool, man. So I phoned him from the call box, there was a call box, called him, and he says, yeah, sure, I'll come. So maybe a week or 2 weeks later, he joined, and he shaved up, and he started serving as well. So he served in the DD department. So his service was preparing all the trays. He got up like 3 o'clock every morning, and he did all the trays, and did all the backup for all the Brahmins, and that was his service. He was really, really scared to serve Maharaj. Every time I called him, he says, no, I'm not going to serve. No, I didn't want to serve Maharaj Prasada. Maharaj said, don't call him. So I prepared everything and said, serve Maharaj. He was really shy, really scared. And he took over when I left. So my dad had a heart attack, and I had 3 sisters, and I said, no, I have to go back and be grahast. I was brahmachari, so I was one of the first brahmacharis for Maharaj, Sridham and I, Nikunja Seva, and Sukumari Mataji were in the same initiation group. And I didn't stay long because of the issues at home when I was the only son, and I said I should do my sonly duties. Yeah. Maharaj was really disappointed. I really disappointed him. I said, Maharaj, I have to do this. I'm worried about them, and who's going to take care of them? And I left him. I cried and I cried and I cried and I left him. I think I wore saffron for like a week. I couldn't give up my saffron cloth. And there's people made up such rumors that said, Maharaj, Subbal's going to the movies and he's wearing saffron cloth. That's strange. Anyway, some weird stuff went to Maharaj, and I said, no, I'm really tainting Maharaj's name, and I shouldn't. So I was the first one to call Maharaj Maharaj. Everyone called him Partha Prabhu, and I asked him permission. I asked him permission. I said, can I call you Maharaj? Everyone calls the Guru Maharaj. And he says, I'm not a Maharaj, but you can do it when no one's around. I said, okay. He said, if anyone's around, you can say Guru Maharaj, it's okay. I'll accept that. So I started calling him Maharaj everywhere. And then we started the 10 campaign, and I became one of the team members in the 10 campaign. Bima and I became friends. We were friends when I was in school. And we both started assisting. He was my assistant in helping me serve Maharaj. And he was, every time I couldn't do something, he did it. He was Maharaj's servant as well, equally serving Maharaj. He was doing whatever I couldn't do, I pumped it off to him. I was doing all the admin and all the finance and banking, and he was doing all the cleaning and washing and ironing and cooking and serving. And Maharaj used to call, Maharaj loved him, absolutely loved him. Where's Ishwar? Is he around? Because Maharaj, call Ishwar, let him serve. You could do something else. He used to serve Maharaj. And so I used to do all the banking. So banking, every set that came through, I know every set that was handed to Maharaj, I banked it, and it went into the 10 campaign account. Maharaj is really strict. In the first couple of months I was serving him, somebody gave him a donation, and the devotee said, this is for the 10 campaign. And I took it and I just went to go and put it in his wallet. And he says, no, wait. And he says, give it to me. And I took it, and he took it from me, and I went outside. And I was crushed, absolutely crushed. I thought, whoa, the person that I just gave my heart to doesn't trust me. And I was like, oh wow, he thinks I'm a thief. I'm going to steal his money. And then he could see that, but I took it really serious, and I was like, really, I went into the little hole, I carried on doing what I was supposed to do. And then when everyone left, like hundreds of people were coming to see him. When everyone left, he said, you know what, when someone says this is the 10 campaign, it goes into a different wallet or a different compartment of my wallet. He had 2 different wallets. And he says, I don't mix this money up. When they say this is for your service, for taking care of yourself, that goes in a separate wallet. So he was very particular. Every cent, I could swear on my life that Maharaj's every cent was separated, and he didn't mix anything up. Even when we were in Vrindavan, he had his cheddar, and he had 2 compartments of his money. He said, Sublal, if you need to buy any food or prasadam or like fruit and veg that you're going to cook, use this one. That one, some people gave me some donations for 10 campaign. Don't touch that. So he's really strict about it. His heart and soul was 10 campaign. He was always meditating of how he's going to do what he's going to do. Everything was carefully thought of. Everything was planned. He knew exactly how things need to be set, where the speakers needed to be, where the lighting needed to be, how far the chairs needed to be from the main stage. It couldn't be too far, then it became too personal. He needed it close so he could see the people. He was personal, he could talk to the people, he could call them by their names, and people felt part of this. Is really nice. Everyone feels part of the program, and that's what he wanted. The mood, the lightings were like mood lighting. It was carefully planned. Every part of the program was structured in that way. We started off, so I used to arrange the programs. That was my service. I used to communicate. The unsung heroes were all the Namahatta leaders. They were amazing. They did all the background work for us. They came and saw me, so I called them at the bottom at the reception near the restaurant where the gift shop is. There was a call box. That was my office. Everyone used to see me sitting there with my coins and using the call box. I used to call all these Namahatta leaders and give them the dates. We're coming on these dates, and come and see me on Sunday at the temple. Maharaj will see you, you'll discuss the plan, what we're going to do. Make sure the grounds are cut, so get someone to cut the grass, remove any obstacles, make sure we arrange for the closest house. If we can go and ask them for power, we can pay them. We never paid them. We said we'll pay them, we never paid them, and they never asked us. We used their power for 2 weeks, and they never asked us for money. It was all Krishna's arrangement. Every house we went, every place we went to, we had power. And spoke to them. I printed out these posters, and but actually Maharaj did all that printing arrangements. He had a lot of contacts, and he went and he used them. I think it was art printers, if I'm not mistaken, art printers. And they served Maharaj, and they had everything on time. They printed out handles. So I gave them about 15 to 20 posters, and I wrote down like which area it is and the dates, because we didn't know the screw up, put the wrong dates. So Maharaj said, write the dates on the posters and give them the posters. So I wrote it and gave them the posters, and they distributed the handles. So they did the Harinam weeks before we got there. So people knew we were coming, and they used to distribute these handles and collect Lakshmi. And that Lakshmi, they used to buy fruit and veg and cook and stuff like that for the program. We used to have beautiful prasadam. And when we got there, I used to do, so Brian used to set up the TV. We used to put some movies on, and the Hare Krishna. Oh, that buzzing stuff, that's nice. And yeah, we used to play videos, and then we used to get about maybe 5 or 10 people coming at 5 o'clock and sitting down, and we used to play music, so people used to get attracted. And then we used to start the Harinam, and then we used to go, whoever was there, sometimes just myself, I'll play Madanga on hand, and a megaphone in the other hand, and having a cartel player. I used to walk through the towns for like an hour, try and cover as many roads, and used to stop in the middle of the kirtan and say, Hare Krishna, we're having the Hare Krishna festival. Please come and join us. There's free prasadam. Please come, there's free dinner. Come join us. I used to sell the point, there's free prasadam. And when I used to walk back, about 200 people used to come with me. I was like a Pied Piper. And then like 200-300 people used to walk back with me, knowing that they might miss where the tent was, and they just follow me and they know where the prasadam was. And then we used to go back, and it's a roaring kirtan, and Maharaj will sit on the stage and he'll be waiting for us and watch us coming through. And then he'll start his kirtan, and his kirtan was mesmerizing. It's absolutely beautiful tunes. He sang the same tunes, and he never changed. Same tunes, same melodies, same sequence, and it captivated everyone. He never changed it. It was beautiful, it was simple. And we went to many places with him, and we did this. The reason I'm actually doing this, a devotee said, you know, I've been coming to the temple for 15 years, and I've been hearing about the 10 campaign, and I Googled, and I can't find anything. There's nothing. There's no pictures. There's no stories. I thought there'll be something on Wikipedia on it. It's such a big thing. It's an important thing. Thousands of devotees came, but there's nothing. So I said, maybe I should do this. I spoke to Bhima Prabhu. He said, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's do this. And I spoke to Mataji, and she said, yeah, let's do this. And I said, let's do it. And I said, okay, who's going to be the speaker? I can't speak. And then I said, yeah, you should speak. And I said, all right, I'll try. So this is my trying, so please forgive me. And so we went to many towns from north to south. And then, you know, we met so many devotees, and so many people became our friends, you know. They came to temple and met us, and we built relationships with everyone. And it was a huge competition. Who's going to be the best? Every year, who's going to be the best? And from that momentum, we started doing the hall programs, and I think it's still going on. And you guys should also do that. Like, you know, before Janmashtami, crank up the momentum for Janmashtami and do a hall program. I went to a program here. I do a huge Janmashtami and invite everyone. It's Krishna's birthday. Let's have a huge celebration. We used to go from after the 10 campaign. Everyone remembered us. Same thing, same deal. I hand out posters. We just say it's Janmashtami. Everyone, we had a different poster there as well. Little baby Krishna eating butter. And thousands of people came. It was huge. It was beautiful. We had plays. Prabhu is the actor. He's Maharaj, you know, trained him, personally trained him how to act, and captivated so many people, and so I'll leave that for him. That's his story. I'll hand over to Bhima Prabhu, my senior born brother. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Forgive my voice, it's just a bit raspy. We went to a Harinam with Patita Pavana and Virabhadra and team last week. And yeah, I think, thanks. So Sublal has said this wonderful story, and he started off by saying he's not a speaker. You believe him?
I've never given a class. So.
He actually started speaking about the 10 campaign only last week. No, not even last week. It was just slightly, when you came to Pretoria?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago he came, he stayed at our house for a few days, and we did the same thing just at our house. He wanted some devotees that he knew from when they were tiny human beings. Some of them were like 3 years old, 4 years old. So he invited a few of them, and they all have families, so it turned out to be like 20 people, just a nice cozy program. We had a lovely projector on our wall, and he brought these, he didn't mention this, but he's got these 2 videos that were sent to him after something like 35 years. One of the first evidence that the 10 campaign actually existed. Like now we can put it on Google or something.
There's proof now.
Now there's proof. Because previously for everybody it just sounded like a legend. So yeah, there's these 2 videos that are about in total 2 hours and 40 minutes, And so we started showing different things from the videos, starting with like everything that Sublal spoke about, how the tent campaign looked, and the stage, the devotees, the people that came from different towns. So this tent campaign is really quite special, because all you young devotees, you wouldn't believe it, most of you are products of tent campaigns, because your parents and their parents became devotees because of tent campaigns. I'd like to see a show of hands of those of you who've been, we've seen, who's been to, we didn't ask that question. Okay, there is a few who've been to tent campaigns. So those of you whose parents have been to tent campaigns, and whose maybe grandparents became devotees because of tent campaigns? All right, good. But if you ask the whole of South Africa and people around the world, there are many thousands of people that came to the tent campaigns, and that's why it's important in South Africa, because this kind of program was not done anywhere else in the world. It started in 1977 as a very original idea. And Parthasarathi Maharaj yesterday at the Namahatta explained that they had this, somebody came to him and approached him and was pushing the temple president, Tulsidas, back in the 1980s, oh no, the 1970s actually, something like that. Late 70s, about doing a tent campaign that roved from town to town and do preaching from there. So basically the temple started to move in this tent, like Jagannath moves in the chariot. So it's a very, very spiritually original idea, and that's why it's important. And to me, the tent campaign today, 35, 40 years later, looks like, wow, that was a transcendental, traveling, spiritual circus. My kids today, they're adults. One of them is like almost 30, the other one is 25. And when they see the circus, we have to go to the circus. So when we used to see this tent campaign, we didn't have circuses. Well, we had circuses. There was Boswell Wilkie. Come on, raise your hands, you advanced devotees who know Boswell Wilkie. See, these kids don't know what it is. It's like
Nemo was the clown.
So there was Boswell Wilkie circus. So this tent campaign was as exciting as that. Everything happened in the tent campaign. It was like, the stories, Krishna's pastimes happened in that tent campaign. Sadhu Sangha happened in the tent campaign. Giriraj Swami came to the tent campaign. Bhakti Charu Swami came to the tent campaign. Bhakti Tirtha Swami came to the tent campaign. Prahlada Nanda Swami, who you probably never heard of, came to the tent campaign. And other devotees here like Purna Chandra and Krishna King at the back there. Krishna Das Maharaj came to the tent campaign.
He spoke for 3 hours.
He spoke from, he spoke so powerfully. He would shatter people's hearts, if you know Krishna Das Swami. You know him, raise your hand. Jai Krishna Das Maharaj Ki Jai. At that time, Indra Swami used to come. And Parthasarathi Maharaj, now we speak about him a little bit not because we're disciples. I mean, my first guru, I thought in my head when I was reading readings in Vedic literature, if you know that book, is Satsvarup Das Goswami Maharaj. I was thinking, he's my spiritual master, 18-year-old boy sitting on a bus and reading this to school. I'm thinking, he's my spiritual master. He's dead. He's my spiritual master. And then when I, sometime after that, I saw Raghuveer Prabhu, I think, he's my spiritual master, he's my spiritual master. So there's a very powerful but sentimental maybe process that I went through. And then I was reading Hriday Nanda Maharaj's articles, and here's my spiritual master, here's my spiritual master. So I went through 3 iterations, 3 phases of, thinking that this is my spiritual master. But later, when you learn the philosophy, then you realize we speak about different spiritual masters somewhat in a unique way. Sublal Prabhu spoke from his heart, but it's a very special thing. But when you experience these advanced devotees, like we did in our younger years, everyone is accessible. Then later the philosophy settles in and you understand from Shastra itself that Guru is plural. It's not a singular word. It's not my Guru or your Guru. So all these things became more clear later in life, but we had the experiences prior to having the philosophy, which was very nice. Everything just came through these 10 campaigns. The 10 campaigns travel from town to town. In my town, how I encountered, I'll tell you a little bit of my story because I don't think we have too much time here. Time is not eternal in La Mercy, is it? Is time eternal here? We have an eternal clock on the wall. No.
It's the only copy. Don't use it.
So my story, and I'll Wikipedia this for you, like very concise, is that I lived in the flat where my mom still lives today, in the flat, and I was studying for final exams, and I hear these crashing sounds, cha-ching, 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 boom, 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 cha-ching, cha-ching, and it's going outside my road, but I'm writing final exams, and this happened for about 2 exam seasons, and at one point I'm thinking, now every night these people are doing this. Who are these people? It's like the aliens or something, And I look out the window, I move the curtain, and 100 meters from my window in the lounge where I studied, I could see Citrus Drive, and there was this glowing white person in saffron cloth. Like, what is that? What is that? And that's no hair, thin and tall, and shining and going up the street, but comes back later with hundreds of people. Is this the Pied Piper? Because we all knew that story. From Peeps into Storyland. Who knows that book? Come on, bro. We're not trying to give away your age. Right? Peeps into Storyland, Pied Piper. I thought this is something very strange. And then it just annoyed me every day because I was studying for maths and physics, and I needed to get into what was it then? Natal University, UKZN. Had to. And I'm going to fail if this uncle goes on, chanting, making a racket every night. And I was very irritated, because it's described with the holy name. Oftentimes it disturbs the minds of demons. So then later I realized, I was an 18-year-old demon at that time. So then I went across the street the night, and it was winter. Gosh, what are they about? This tent, it's been there for so many days. And so I stood outside because I was very skeptical and annoyed. Stood outside and I see this stage and I see all these people sitting, literally a few hundred people sitting down on chairs, and this huge caravan inside with the doors flipped open, and it's Sri Sri Radha Radhanath illuminated. This was space age technology back in the 80s, 1988, 89 I think it was. Around about the same time he came, but obviously I was 4 or 5 years older than him. So for me, they didn't bother. It was not kidnapping. For him, it was kidnapping. So then I walked in freely everywhere. But then I stood outside, very skeptical, very annoyed, and I see this person sitting on stage. Oh, it's the same man, shaved up, and he starts to speak, and I'm not going to believe anything he says. No way. No way. Crazy people like this can't make sense. But he was speaking from Bhagavad Gita, and he was speaking about the different planetary systems. And I loved physics. For me, Einstein was God, right? I love special relativity, anything in physics I love, mathematics. And then, so he started speaking about, the construction of the planetary systems, and boom, immediately. I was hooked, my mind was hooked. And I started listening to him. And I listened, and he's, it just what is this? So within a few days, I walked back from my house onto the grass during the day, nothing's really happening. He's living in the caravan, or he's living in the house next door, next to the caravan. And then I bought a Bhagavad Gita from his 10 campaign, and it cost me 80 Rand, and I believe that felt like 800 Rand to a student, But I bought it and I started reading it. Everything in the Bhagavad Gita didn't make sense to me. It was absolutely over my head. And when I was in high school, in order to understand high school physics, I used to read higher level physics, which was first year physics in university, second year physics, like that. So I was carrying this. So everything was there was nothing I couldn't understand. But when this knocked me, for a 6, and I couldn't make sense of it, and I thought, wow, I have to know what this is. So I kept on going, sneaking into the 10 campaign every night, sitting down, and then getting, my heart getting a little bit more warmer. And then somewhere along the line, I think it was 89, yeah, definitely, 89, Sublal and I somehow became automatic friends. And like you said, he started engaging me in service. I saw Partha Sarati Prabhu, and it was just otherworldly. So what's the core of this? We can speak so many sentimental things about our relationship and how it developed, but the core of it, when we see 40 years later, the core of such preaching is purity. So many different wonderful Vaishnavas, all our spiritual masters today, and a lot more of them came to this campaign, and it became the nucleus of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda's preaching world, really. The preaching world of Durban, certainly, because the 10 campaign, in its extravagant days, went up to Lodium, if you know where that planet is. You do? Okay. It went up there maybe one time, and then it also, to the furthest in the north, it went up to Richards Bay, right? And then everywhere, like in the Midlands, I think it went up, Newcastle was the furthest probably. So you are so blessed to have had this Krishna conscious explosion in the 80s, actually from the 70s. A lot of you, half of you were not even born then, right? So this already happened before we became unmanifest. So this is what set the spiritual ground for Krishna consciousness in South Africa, to be honest. Because in Gauteng, it's a different story. In the Natal Midlands, it's also a different story. Different strategies of preaching were there. But here, you need to know what's the foundation of your Krishna consciousness, Prahlad. What is it? Comes back to the 10 campaign. Every level, one level back, you'll find out, wait, somebody in my family went to a 10 campaign. My mother was a devotee before me in that town, and we used to think, what's up with Mom? She's got these beads, she's become vegetarian. Ooh, a little strange, but we were very respectful. We never say anything like, offensive or anything. What's that? You're vegetarian? Okay, fine. So we were still in school and we carried on our lives. My brother's also a very sincere devotee now. Not now, from that time. But then a year later is that when it started to click for us, and then we got kind of seriously connected to this preaching program. But what happened in the 10 campaign is like the parts I can speak about is like we were given the services of, besides what Sublal spoke about, everything's covered. I got the remnants of his service, definitely. I was so happy he was overloaded. He couldn't wash clothes, I'll wash them. Couldn't do the offering for Governor, I'll do that. And I was very introverted, so I would never come frontline. He was like all over the place. And then Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, Raghavir Prabhu, and Parthasarathy Maharaj, they lived in the same room. They literally brothers. You don't see it now. They're preaching, their preaching lines have taken them in different directions. But they are two brothers that have come from one place. They lived in that same room. Like two brahmacharis in that small room next to the toilet. You know that room? I think they're doing something to it now. But it was just a square box. And every time we'd serve Partha Prabhu will go to that room, and there's Raghavir Prabhu. And then one day he said to me, he's putting his dhoti on. He says, my name is, well back then, Babu. The Oxford Dictionary meaning of your name? And I'm like, I think I was cleaning the floor, picking up laundry. I said, no, I don't know what it is. He said, it means an English gentleman. So immediately I felt like an advanced devotee, right? At 18 years old. But like he was so sweet like that. He's still sweet like that. I don't see him as as anything else, but also my other father. Me being also a father, a person who lost his father at the age of 5. This was unusual for me to have spiritual fathers, and my love for them, my service for them, even up to today. Although in a very remote fashion, is still well placed. I saw Bhakti Chaitanya Swami the other day coming from Haryana last week, and I just went straight up to him, like I don't even think. And I got this accordion on my back, so I can't bow. I'm over 50 years old, obviously I can't bow. So I just squat down and I put my hand on his foot, and like all his disciples around, they go, whoa. Who's this crackpot? Oh, he's got GP plates. Yeah, he must be a crackpot. It's not local. So then, so we were involved in the dramas, right? So eventually, the dramas became quite big. If you haven't seen a play like the 10 campaign plays, Wow. Yeah.
Are we doing one tomorrow?
We could be doing one tomorrow.
Ah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so everything happened there. There's the boatman and the scholar. Who knows that one? And what else? The fish play with Dizzy Lizzy. You don't even know what I'm talking about. The touchstone, Sanatan Goswami and the Chintamani touchstone. Wow.
I did the touchstone in Lodium, and I was dressed in a suit and dressed really shabbily. And I came through the back of the crowd with a chopper, a bang, and I was making a loud racket. And the devotee ran across and he clotheslined me, and he threw me into the ground, and he pinned this banger down, and I go, "Hey, bro, it's Sublal." And he goes, "Hare Krishna." He didn't recognize me at all.
Yeah, so that's a good point also. So when you used to come, tearing in from the back of the crowd, like acting drunk, like a drunkard, you're in a town, you don't know where this, like anybody could be walking in. And now we have right of admission reserved or preserved. I don't know what it is, reserved or preserved. But yeah, we should just come to the back of the crowd, causing a commotion, especially the drunk character, right? Acting drunk, and people used to get very, very scared. Babies used to cry. Yeah. So, my first encounter with first instruction or request, I think, he came to my house across the flat, it's literally 150 meters from the tent, and he says, he's sitting down in the lounge, and he's like, and you think like, oh, gosh, you start to get scared, because he had that very overwhelming presence. Now, he's like in Durban, I must tell you, me from Gauteng, we don't get to see him as often as you, and Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, you just think it's like he's a household guru, yeah. Oh, it's not horrible. No, it's not like
I see them every 10 years.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
So I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that these are very elevated souls, very elevated souls. They might look like you and me with 2 hands and 2 legs, but don't become over familiar. Like now, 35 years later or so, we're still talking about them with such kind of attachment and respect and awe and reverence, because that needs to be there also. We need to remind ourselves that these are very pure souls. And whatever happens on social media, please kick it to the curb, flush it down the toilet. You see something strange? Come on, spray some air fresh.
Whenever they're going to speak, you should go. Just go. I'm glued to YouTube. I'm like stalking you guys and watching all the videos. That's my only association of Maharaj. So take advantage. When he's coming to give a talk anywhere, he's leaving his comfort zone and going out to meet you. You should go out. Please go out and meet any of the gurus that come. It's so important. It's so important. I know it's all scary and dangerous, and I've been away for 17 years, but just pray to Krishna and go. I used to do that when I was 13. I walked from Lotus Park to the temple one time because I couldn't get a lift. So I walked all the way from Isabingo, just chanting Hare Krishna, and I went, a little boy. So just go and see the gurus, anyone. We're not here canvassing for any of the gurus or anything like that.
So we're canvassing for all gurus?
Yes.
But he's from Australia, not kangaroos. So just be careful, make the distinction. There's a philosophical difference. There's a philosophical difference. Yeah. There's too many gurus today. Yeah. You might have traveled around the world. Too many gurus everywhere. Guru on my left, guru on my right. My friend used to say, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a guru by his toe. If he cries, let him go." Now the joke is, there's so many different people standing or sitting on Vyasasans and posing as authorities. So be careful about that. So I met Parthasarathi Maharaj or Partha Prabhu when he came to my house. He sat down in the lounge and he saw me do a play the previous day, and I'm a total introvert. Any introverts here? They won't raise their hands, right? None of you raised your hands. Anyway, so I was so terrified of, being in a public space and all that. And so he sat in the house and he said, I want you to act in a play. Oh gosh, I made the biggest mistake of my life by acting in the Namahatta play where I played Madai. I was the guy who hit God Nichananda. I didn't know I was hitting God, right? So I cracked him on the head, he was bleeding. Of course, it was all gold tomato sauce and all that stuff. But so I didn't know who was Lord Nichananda. I just cracked God on the head. Next day, he comes to my house. He thought it was so good that I hit God. I want you to act in a play, and I'm not responding because I froze. And I'm just like grinning, not saying a word. He says, "As a woman." And he laughs like that. It's nothing like that.
I got some footage of it. So you will never see him the same way again.
Yeah. Anyways, and then he goes on to say her name is Dizzy Lizzy, and that just crushed my manhood right there. Like all my life, all my teenage life, I'm picking these heavy dumbbells, right? In my room, and I'm swinging these things. I've got the biceps to wear that shirt without the sleeves, and I had quite a. I built my masculinity up to that point, and now here's a person coming to crash my entire life down with one stroke. And I was thinking, like in my head, I should have said no, but I said yes, and I became a woman thereafter. The first man in ISKCON to dress as a woman. And so he just destroyed my life, right? Anyway, then we started doing these plays. I started getting more comfortable as a woman.
He traveled everywhere at night as a woman.
Yeah, so I knew, somebody taught me how to drape a sari. I had a lot of assistance. Now, this, you might think like we're all philosophy and we're all principles and we're all regulated this and that. But my story is a little, closer to home. So Subbal's one is based on, exactly what he said, this serving the advanced devotees, and quite a few of them. He served Bhakti Bringa Govinda Swami in a personal way, Krishna Das Maharaj in a personal way, so many spiritual masters, Kadambakananda Maharaj also. But in those younger years, he had access to all the sannyasis, and that was a very special service. So, but we had other services. So, and we had a team. We had a team of devotees that acted as different characters. Even my mother-in-law was a man.
You probably meet him tomorrow.
Keshava Murthy, you know him? Keshava Murthy is Food for Life.
Food for Life.
Yeah, and I had a white husband. That was Kapila. So when you watch these videos, all these things are going to make philosophical sense. Don't worry. You'll understand. So we did such amazing, crazy things back then that even my kids laughed at when they saw it 2 weeks ago. So yeah, then doing these plays and traveling through the different towns and villages. We used to do in Verulam, Canelands, it was Phoenix, I think, and then Stanger, and every place. So we'd like also to inspire devotees who have this tendency to want to do plays or do services that are exciting and entertaining. Then you should step forward and do it. I know Gangamata Goswami had these ideas also, and these are seeds that need to be cultivated, at least in the temple setting or hall program settings, like Sublal said. Bring back the excitement and the drama of Krishna consciousness. Please do that. And all you devotees here, all seasoned devotees, we also encourage that you get involved in different entertaining types of services. There's a whole culture of Krishna consciousness. That's why I say this tent brought the entire culture of Krishna consciousness to every town. Yeah, and then, Parthasarathi Maharaj used to write from Vrindavan every year. Beautiful letters, handwritten. There was, he didn't have a typewriter by that point, it came maybe a few years later.
Anyone got any of those letters?
Yeah,
Nice.
There you go, devotees have those letters, right?
Share them on the memory Facebook if you're on it. Yeah, it'd be nice for people to read those words, if they're not personal. Yeah.
So these 10 campaigns, like you said, they started. What happened? What was the effect of this 10 campaign? When the 10 campaign left, what happened? In that process, the 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks that the 10 campaign stayed, Maharaj used to establish Namahattas. He would get people and then start a service. They would start a service group. He would, supervise it, guide them. And before we left, there was a service group. Absolutely. Every time before we left, there was already a service group. And then it got to its peak after some years that there were 50 Namahattas in KZN, right? It's probably 100 now. 50? No, there's less. 50? 5? Hare Krishna. You're joking. Unless KZN has shrunk.
Can the whole SAP 3 with 4 dots?
Namahattas, like different towns? Well, that's why we need to revive this preaching spirit also. We're meant to help our spiritual masters. We're meant to help Prabhupada. They help Prabhupada, you know. The senior Vaishnavis and Vaishnavas of the society around the world are assisting Srila Prabhupada. And so Parthasarathi Maharaj used to tell us that you're helping me serve my spiritual master. We learned that as teenagers. You're helping me serve my spiritual master. And then whoever we can help to serve Srila Prabhupada, then we must do that. We must do that somehow, even if we give them electricity for free.
A very important thing was every member of Maharaj's team had to chant their rounds. So 16 rounds had to be done before the program. So Maharaj used to come and check our counters. He'll ask you, are you pulling the beads up or are you pulling them down? So I say, they're down. He goes, okay, you've done 20 rounds. That's good. So that was our power, that was our Shakti. You know, Maharaj really was strong about that. Before you do kirtan, everybody chants your 16 rounds for the Shakti. So yeah, please do that. So there's some questions here. And I was asked to do the first one. Hare Krishna, thank you for making me a devotee. So grateful. From Krishna Laya, your sister. Hare Krishna. So, as he said, he was my best friend. But then he ruined it. He married my sister. Yeah?
Wow.
Both my sisters married my friends. And Dayal was my class boy and helped him become devotee. He married my sister.
Yeah, there's a nice description for that. So I didn't know how to tie a sari, so his sister used to help me.
So they tied the knot on the sari.
Put my sari on, like I knew nothing about, you know, ladies or ladies' dresses or anything like that. But so she used to put my sari on, and she used to put my jewelry on, my earrings, and I'm going to say this word, you're going to be so lost here in the front row, sirbandi. I had a sirbandi. I had hair. Sorry, let's stop there.
Nose ring.
So,
nose ring.
And a nose ring, right? Yeah, nose ring. And then 25 years later, I said to Maharaj at some program, I said to Maharaj, you know, she used to be my makeup artist. And he said, oh, she made you. Basically, she did, right? So yeah, it was interesting. That's why I say my story is a bit more closer to the crowd. Is that Krishna consciousness is that wonderful. It's not just all philosophy and like rules and regulations. If you stay within the society, interesting things happen. We shouldn't look beyond. I have 3 wonderful daughters in my family. I never thought I'd get married. But then when I thought I'd get married, I thought, why wait? I don't want to be a brahmachari. I knew that. Like saffron was the color of the day. If you didn't have saffron, like, whoa, Prabhu, you can't sing. Yeah. So I knew I wasn't going to be a brahmachari. A lot of my friends are brahmacharis. Purna Chandra was a brahmachari. And then one day, you know, somebody said to me, you see all these brahmacharis, and he's pointing at people like Purna Chandra, Krishna Chandra, and you know, Krishna Kenkar, Krishna Chaitanya, and all of them, they were like literally 60 devotees that lived in Radharannath, you don't know. And all of them were like saffron. He said all of them will get married. I was like, what? How could you say? I'm thinking, and it didn't quite compute in my head, but then I watched all of them get married, right? And interesting, yeah. So Lord Chaitanya, you know, he also was a grihastha, so we shouldn't be like falsely in the wrong ashram. If you know you're going to get married, I thought, well, I'm 19, there's this nice devotee girl, maybe I should go to Prabhupada and pray. Please let her and me get married. I did that. Not trying to say.
Hey mate, I think we have to stop. If they want to hear more, they have to come join us
Right,
tomorrow.
okay.
It's getting late. Just one final word from me. I was Maharaj's Mridanga player, and also I used to lead kirtans as well with Maharaj in the campaigns. And I was dedicated to Maharaj. My Mridanga playing was for Maharaj. So I beg everyone that's playing Mridanga and leading kirtan, do it for your Guru and do it with passion and love. And make the music, enhance people's experiences when they come to programs. It's so important. Like I play really simple beats, but people feel the beat when they go home. So let's try and encourage that. There's a huge difference between a bhajan beat and a kirtan beat. So play kirtan beats in kirtans. So I want to also beg for forgiveness if I've offended anybody. So I'm not a senior devotee by any means at all. I'd like to say Hare Krishna and please forgive me. And I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully. Hare Krishna. There's some questions, so be more to the next one. And if we can start the video, who's controlling the video? So the first one, and then we'll play for a few minutes and then we'll... So Bhima Prabhu is going to make, he's got a few of the 10 campaign videos. Some people have kindly given that to us. He'll make that available to everyone in a short time when he gets it together. Will there be feedback if I could? You can turn it down. So the kids were never invited on stage. They just wait on stage.
touchstone. I understand you have a touchstone, and I really appreciate it if I could loan it to me for a few days.
You want my touchstone?
Yeah, I know you're a big guy. You're a big-hearted fellow, and I think that it would be a very nice gesture on the part of India to give America a touchstone for a few days.
Yeah, but what's your name?
Jailer.
Jaya? Jaya, what do you want a touchstone for?
Well, see, look, I'm a big guy. I got a lot of money, but I just like to see things turn into gold. That's all. I like to see it happen.
But why? What is the use of a lot of gold or money?
Hey, the money is the name of the game. Money's the honey.
Okay.
Game of life.
Money is
To get ahead, to get up where the action is. After action, satisfaction. And after satisfaction, big reaction.
Yeah, but money won't make you happy, Jaya. You know that. You can't take it with you when you die.
No, I'm not going to take it with me. But before I die, I'm going to build a mountain of it. I'm going to build me a mountain of gold.
Yeah, but then
And I'm going to sit on top of that mountain. And I'm going to say, sure, looks nice. And that'll make me happy. That makes me happy.
And then when you die, you have to leave it?
Yeah, then I'll leave it, no problem. But before I die, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to live life to its fullest. Get all the gusto I can.
Yeah, but you're trying to get all your enjoyment from your material senses. Jaya, there's a higher happiness. And that's coming from within. It's coming from the soul.
So, anyway, let me just have the touchstone and I'll see for myself. You can have your happiness and I'll have my material happiness, which you despise. I'll think that's like you can have the spiritual happiness and I'll go for the material.
All right, Jaya, if you really want the touchstone,
Yeah, I really
I
want.
mean, I don't mind if
I
you really
really
want. All right, if you have a look behind my little hut, you'll find that one rubbish bin. And in the bottom of the rubbish bin, you'll find touchstone. You can take it. Take it.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. I could never thank you enough. Thanks.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare
This is the world's only touchstone. Jack, get that train off the track. It's making noise. Thanks. I've already made my fortune. You ever seen a touchstone? Watch this. You see that mosquito over there? we're going to mass produce them in a factory. We'll just go, I think I'll make me a gold plating. Let's see, who should I turn to gold? Which one's from now you're worth something.
Do the next one.
I'm the only person in the world that smokes gold filters.
There's a lot more in there. We'll save it for later. We can do the second one just a few minutes. You can hop forward. This is Freedom's sister. She used to dance at the 10 campaign. Everyone was engaged. Everyone that wanted to be part of it was part of it.
How are you?
A little more.
Welcome to the material. Actually, my name is Professor Sublal. Yes. Just came from the palladium. Anyhow, fish, in order to succeed in life, you have to have brains, like me. You have to be intelligent. You have to get on in life. Material knowledge is degrees. With material knowledge, you can succeed in life. And without material knowledge, you'll fail. But fish, I'm willing to take you on as my student.
Here's the lady.
You know what time it is? Nice weather we're having today. She likes me. Higher fish for you.
Hare Krishna. So that was the 10 campaign. It was amazing. What's next? Oh, Bima, there's a question. Oh, we can answer that.
You can't read it.
We can finish it. There was one question, so.
Who wrote this question? Don't feel shy. We'll give you a prize. It says, Hare Krishna, please explain about what happens in detail when a devotee gets liberated. Ooh, is that 10 campaign? Can I stop that? Or where do we go? Are we male or female? And the place we stay, I have heard and Maharaj explained, we first go into a play and we are given something after that. Well, we'll take the last part of that question. Liberation means leaving the material existence, right? I think we understand that. Leaving the material existence means you have to enter into the spiritual world. And but before that happens, you've heard the Maharaj say that the person takes birth in a play. Actually, that's quite close to what it is. The devotee will take birth in the pastimes of the Lord. This is explained in Shastra. That one takes birth somewhere in the material existence, in the pastimes of Krishna or Lord Chaitanya, before you go back to Godhead. That's the last material birth in the material world, but it's in the direct spiritual pastimes of the Lord. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We have one more question from the audience. Would you all be okay to take that, Sublal Prabhu, Bhima Prabhu? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the introductory lane. That was quite amazing. Sublal Prabhu, Bhima Prabhu, with your science background, maybe you can take this one. I would like to know if you could clarify with regards to evolution or creation. I came across a letter of Swami Prabhupada that he was involved in a debate in 1972 on evolution. So I was trying to figure out or get a better understanding with regards to when we as souls, from what I understand and what Srila Prabhupada said, that Lord Brahma and the higher authorities placed our souls in the different or various forms, the 8.4 million forms of species. So I just want to understand, how exactly did Lord Brahma and the higher authorities decide to place us in these certain forms or bodies? Like, for example, if I was chosen to be an elephant and someone was chosen to be a dog and a cat or whatever type thing, did it just happen? Did they just say, okay, this soul goes here, this soul goes here? Or was it based on our karma? And if it was based on our karma, how can it be? Because this was at the moment of creation. So how would we be carrying karma? Is that now from us falling down out of the spiritual world, committing offenses there? Or, you know, that type of thing? Did they just do it, or is it based on karma? Thank you.
I'm sure you got all of that.
I think I need the brain of Lord Brahma to understand the question. But nice question, bro. Nice question, but we'll answer it maybe in a simple way now, and if you want to discuss it further, there's also very seasoned devotees here that you might have a relationship with that you could unpack the question with later, maybe other Namahattas and things like that. But so you've answered the question actually in your question. Is it that we just get placed into the different species of life? Yeah, we do. And how is it possible? Is it due to karma? That's something you asked also. Yes, it's also due to karma. And how is it possible that, you know, because if creation started now, how can it be due to karma? Is your question also, right? So it's because creation happens in cycles. So the 4 ages are one Mahayuga, consisting of the 4 ages, yes, 4.3 billion years, and that happens in cycles. So that's one creation, and the next dissolution of the universes and the recreation of the universes is the next Mahayuga. So there's creation happening all the time. Whatever's left over from the previous cycle of yugas, your karmic portfolio, your CV of karma, is carried forward to the next creation. Unless you're coming directly from the spiritual world, raise your hand if you do. Then you don't have any previous karma. You're just starting with, with a new CV, right? You just graduated from the,
Or you come in on a mission.
You're coming down and you got a blank CV. But what's happening is that we're carrying over karma from previous cycles, previous creations and dissolutions. Is that okay for now? Okay, good. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's give our 2 speakers a huge round of applause. So coincidentally, one of my announcements for this evening was actually based on y'all's class and y'all's topic. Maybe you're not aware of this, but last year we had a tent campaign in Changash. And His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami was there, His Holiness Bhakti Saratidas Goswami was there, and it was actually quite a success. Everybody was speaking about it in the Changash area, and you all being the pioneers of this amazing event, you all are our inspiration. And we also had the boatman's play, and we had Lord Nishikidev's appearance as a second play on the second day. And this year, once again, we are having a tent campaign. Haribol! So our tent campaign is going to be on the 2nd and 3rd of August. And this year we are combining it with our Janmashtami program. For those of you all that will remember, last year we had our tent program, and thereafter in August we had a Janmashtami program at the hall. This year we're combining both events. So it's going to be double the fun, double the work, double the inspiration, because we just had such an amazing presentation from two amazing souls that were here with us. So a humble request for each and every one of you to come. And Australia is not that far, Prabhu. It's just a few continents away. I'm sure you can make it back on the 2nd of August. And same for you, Bhima Prabhu. It would be so nice, so nice if you all could join us. But I am joking. I know Australia is far, but it would be very nice if you do catch up with all our programs on Facebook Live. And Bhima Prabhu, if you could come, we'd really like that. We have lots of exciting events planned for the tent campaign. We have 2 plays. Unfortunately, I can't say too much because we want to keep the suspense of the tent campaign going. But we have 2 amazing plays lined up. We have dances. We have very senior devotees coming in, and hopefully we will have a few mirages coming in as well. So please save the date, 2nd and 3rd of August, our tent campaign in Changash. So that's one of the very interesting announcements I had. And we will require a lot of assistance for this tent campaign. As I said, it is going to be Janmashtami as well. We're going to need help with prasad, we're going to need help with our drama, we're going to need help with setting up, and every year that we do host this, we know we have everyone's support. So once again, a humble request for everyone to please come together, offer your assistance, whatever your talent is, whatever your skill is, come forward, and we would really appreciate it. So also next week, Saturday, there has been a lot of posts of it on social media. Next week, Saturday, there's the bonfire at Park Raby. Again, last year we went as a Namahatta. We booked a bus, and we all got into the bus, and we drove to Park Raby, and we had a whole lot of fun. And this year, once again, we have booked a bus. So we have 60 seats available, and first come, first serve. So please let me know after the program if you're available. The bus should be here at 3:30 to leave at 4. The program is in Park Rainy starting at 4:30, and if I'm not mistaken, it should be done around 9. And we have 3 speakers that's going to be at the Park Rainy bonfire. We have His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, we have His Holiness Parthasarati Das Goswami, and we also have His Holiness Adaksoja Maharaj. So it's going to be lots and lots of fun, lots and lots of enlightening classes taking place. So please do come. And then another very exciting announcement. So, as Prabhu was saying, drama is a very interesting service to render. And I was hearing something the other day on the internet that a study was done, and they noticed that generally their 3 fears are fear of flying, fear of death, and fear of public speaking, which I won't know much of, right? No, but really, people are afraid of being on stage, people are afraid of public speaking. But then again, I was thinking, I don't think that's the 3 fears anymore. The fear would now be fear of my phone battery dying, fear of no Wi-Fi going down, and fear of that circle that says buffering as you're trying to watch Netflix. So that was just like a joke from my side. But really, please come through and offer your talent. And even if you've never acted before, we're giving you all an opportunity at the La Mercy Namahatta. So we've come up with an idea. As you all know, we have 4 regulative principles. That is, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. So our plan is this. At our next Namahatta, we're going to take the first regulative principle, no meat eating people, to create a quick skit. You don't have to have it planned on the date. That means you can come up with an idea now. No props, no costumes required, just a quick idea. 10 minutes to come out to the front after our class and just render a quick skit to show us why that regulative principle is so important to follow in our spiritual life. So you do not need to be an actor, a fully fledged actor, even if you've never done acting before on stage. This is the perfect platform for you to try. So please, if anyone is interested, meet me after the program. And even if you're afraid to act, but you have an idea of how you would like to portray this kind of a skit, where you would like to show the audience why we follow this regulative principle. Because we all know that we're following the 4 regulative principles, but sometimes it's almost like we need to press the refresh button to say, this is why we follow it, and by not following it, what could happen in our spiritual life. So please take up this opportunity. It will be very, very exciting. And in the next Namahatta, we will do the next regulative principle. And like that, the next 4 Namahattas, we're going to touch on 1 regulative principle at a time. So you all got that? Yes. So it means I'm seeing all of y'all after the program. Eh? All of y'all are going to be interested. You're going to come to me. So it's going to be no meat eating. That's the regulative principle. We've got 10 minutes. You don't have to worry about costumes. You don't have to worry about props. Okay, also, as Prabhu mentioned, both our speakers, tomorrow there is a lovely program at Sri Sri Radha Radhanath. His Holiness Parthasarati Das Goswami Maharaj will be giving class, and they will also be showing most of these videos, Prabhu. There'll be a projector up and you'll get to see a lot more of the videos. So please do join tomorrow at the temple. The program starts at 7 p.m. And I believe you're also going to be rendering here, son?
6.
It doesn't start at 6. My apologies. It starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So please avail yourselves and come through. Also, tomorrow is International Yoga Day. I'm sure many of you all have seen this as well, all over social media. So our Namahatta that also runs Food for Life Coastal here will be providing 2,000 meals tomorrow. There's 800 that are going to be cooked tomorrow morning. And we humbly request you all to please come through and assist. Because tomorrow, the meals need to be ready by 10:30 and delivered to the Bay of Plenty at the beachfront. That's where this huge yoga retreat is happening. And Food for Life Coastal is providing the meals. The meals need to be there at 10:30, which means we need a lot of assistance in the morning to have the prasad cooked and packed and delivered by 10:30. So please, a humble request, if you can come through in the morning, if you can be here at 7:30, because the more hands we have, the faster we can get through the packing and we can have it delivered. So please do come through for this wonderful opportunity to serve prasad to the yoga camp. And we have our Namahatta, as I always say, is never complete if we don't have a birthday to celebrate. So Mataji, can you bring the cake out? We have 2 birthdays today. We have, I hope I pronounced the name correct. Prabhu, please forgive me if I don't pronounce it correct. Prata Parudra Das. Is that the name? Is that how I'm pronouncing it? Prata Parudra Das. Okay, so it's Prabhu's birthday. Is it today?
Yesterday.
It is today, so it's yesterday. Okay, so it was yesterday. So Prabhu, can you please come to the front?